We talk so much about get to the root, get to the root. So they find the fear, and then how do they get to the limiting belief beneath the fear?
First thing is that, and I've done this too, where I'm like, well, I shouldn't be afraid. And so I'll just override my fear and push through. But really, that just leads to more dysregulation, and it really doesn't actually integrate the block. So in order to really integrate the block, we have to really get curious about what are we afraid of with this, and ask almost the question like, why does it make perfect sense that I feel this way? And then from there, go into what do I need in order to essentially feel safe in the world or feel safe around this block? How do I create safety here? And so to really actually validate the fear, be with the fear, is there any parts that are actually true here that we need to look at? And then potentially, once we validate it and we're not overriding it, then we can actually have some agency and choice to go, yeah, there is some risk here. There might be, for example, a risk of rejection. That can be a real thing that might happen. And what would help me feel safe? Then we get to have more agency of choosing it versus just overriding it. The really big blocks are basically how we were parented or not parented, and then what's the narrative that we have around ourselves because of that. And they could be so different. So like the really big blocks, they're not going to be just a little one-off incident. They're going to be more of looking at your family of origin story and the narratives that you picked up from those experiences. So different types of attachment trauma or developmental trauma from parent that was XYZ or whatever needs that did not get met.
And so intentionally looking at it, what are the effects? Like, what is the spider web that takes place when you can actually shift gears and move that block into, wow, we just pulled back that whole layer and I'm actually shifting neural pathways and I'm thinking differently and I'm acting differently. And like, sure, yes, there might be another layer to uncover at one time, but I have just leveled up in my life and my experience because I looked at this block. Like, what are some of the juiciness that people can look forward to?
You have so much to look forward to by doing these blocks and looking these stories, and not to be discouraged if you get 1, 2, 3 layers of the onion off and there's more to go, to not be discouraged, because it's so rewarding when you can go, yes, this is what happened to me when I really look at it, and this makes sense, and this makes sense why. It's so liberating and exciting when you really go, okay, I see myself, and you do all this inner child work and you feel your own nervous system settle. The number one thing to help our nervous system settle more than anything else is a safe and secure relationship, whether it's external or internal. So all of TBM work is about building a safe and secure relationship with yourself internally. And so it's just the more we build and build that for our nervous system, it impacts our life in literally every way imaginable. You get nothing but rewards by looking and doing this work. The rewards are endless to me. And to celebrate whatever wins and gains, and also to know, like, gosh, if it took 20, 30 years of programming and being in this narrative, you're going to have some breakthroughs. The breakthroughs exist, but healing is messy and it's not linear. And there's to know that, like, there's always layers, but I just don't want anybody to be discouraged by that. It is so exciting to have a breakthrough and then go through the journey.
I mean, you could peel off one layer and have a whole new reality on the other side. One layer can have a huge impact.
My core wounds, like, I'm still chipping away at them, but also as I delayer along the way, I'm manifesting. So that's another great thing to remember. You could get really discouraged hearing like they might take some time, but the universe, the way that it works, it's really directly with the manifestations you're calling in. For instance, if you're calling in something like a job and it's a toxic boss situation that you've encountered before and you're working through that because of your narcissistic parent, but that narcissistic parent work is going to take time, that you're still able to manifest through expansion, through aligned action and processing, unblocking on that journey. You're still able to manifest, a great job and maybe a little bit better of a boss scenario, so just note that even though these core blocks take longer, that you will continue to manifest along the way. And like Janelle saying, it's just having great grace with that process. You know, it takes time. Like all of that time that it formed, it takes time to undo. People are using their manifestation to completely transform their lives. I believe the universe dangles these carrots in front of you in an effort to get you back to your whole, worthy, authentic self. I believe if you're like taking away the entire material plane and just getting into completely the spiritual plane, that's the number one driver to consciousness, is to just be and be who you are, be your essence without any ego. And talking about pain, shame programming, you know, the masks we wear, leading the way or being a part of you. I believe that the universe's intention is to dangle these material things, and not just, material manifestations, even relationships are material, these things in an effort to get you there. It's 100% what I believe manifestation is.
I mean, how freaking cool. The universe is literally like, you're going to get this fun thing and you're going to heal on the way.
Yeah, and that's what separates this from anything else out there. And I think it's also what separates how high the statistic results are for people from other methods, because you're really being led by the universe.